Hello, good evening to you, everyone, and welcome to Time with the Captains. It's a monthly business mentorship program tonight here on TV3. And this month, we're getting into a Don and a captain in the banking industry. And this banking industry in this country has been under the spotlight for quite a while now. And we want to know exactly how he blazed the trail and has been able to get to this point. My name is Asiedu-Dartey. Welcome to Time with the Captains. We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the profile of our captain for tonight and the audience who have joined us this evening. Be back shortly. Do stay.
Timuni, Leptilago Watkins, or you Pishinai, Nation Dara, Nanda Boni Sheba, Nevertime Bonaba, Network Shelda Melbourne Mama, Rabum the Mammy, and Santa Jenny, Vodafone Business Solution, Red Business Package Mazo, the Jamaica Minute to Mamaza at the bonnet tab free. Then so Vodafone Business Solution, Jamaican Ready Business.
Join Vodafone Business Solutions, activate the Red Business Package, and enjoy free calls among your colleagues, bonuses on all top-ups, and more. Visit any Vodafone shop to sign up now.
Vodafone, power to you.
TV3 at 20, reshaping news and creating stars.
All right, welcome back to Time with the Captains, and it's the 20th anniversary edition of Time with the Captains here at TV3 as we celebrate our 20th anniversary as a media house and also setting the pace and the media landscape in Ghana. Tonight, we're joined by a wonderful audience from the Central University College here in Ghana. A round of applause from you. Fantastic. Wow. Wow. I like the energy. That's nice. Wonderful. 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 This is hard enough to bring inflation rates down in this country, you know that. Yeah, it's good to have you. Good evening to you. Welcome. Tonight, we're getting to our profile for our captain for today. Henry Oro is the managing director. Decades of experience in the banking industry. Prior to assuming this role, he served in the capacity of executive director and had oversight responsibility for marketing, corporate banking, and business development. Before joining Zenith Bank Ghana Limited, he was the zonal head at the Ikeja region, Zenith Bank PLC, where he was responsible for the business activities of the Oba Akran branch in Nigeria. He also provided support in the supervision of over 20 branches in the zone. His supervisory roles cut across the steel, manufacturing, food and beverages, pharmaceuticals, oil and gas, public sector, consumer and corporate marketing. Henry holds a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of Benin, Benin City, and an MBA from the Lagos State University. He's a chartered accountant and an honorary member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers Nigeria. Henry also holds an LLB from the University of London. Before joining Zenith Bank PLC, he spent over 7 years at Citibank, where he served in operations, treasury, and marketing. He has won many accolades since joining the group, including Most Outstanding Leadership in the Bank 2007, Most Profitable Zone 2007, Most Profitable Corporate Group 2008, as well as Highest Deposits Group in 2008 in Nigeria. He has also attended several courses locally and abroad, including executive management courses at the Harvard Business School, Columbia University, University of Chicago, HEC Paris, JP Morgan. Henry also has a strong passion for the growth of the brand in Ghana and has been instrumental in the development and implementation of strategies which have accumulated into increase of the bank's capacity, size, market share, and industry rankings. Also, under his able leadership, he has ensured that excellence customer experience remains at the center of the bank's customer service strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome our captain for tonight, Henry Oro. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
It's good to have
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for having me.
Thank you. Always. You know, beside all the other things I've read in the profile, he's an Arsenal fan. Yeah. Well, I really don't know why you're clapping, because Arsenal is not doing too well in the Premiership. Except that they are managed by a businessman instead of a coach. So I'm sure that's why you like them.
These are early days. Yeah?
You have hope that they're going to make it at the Premiership?
You win the Premiership in May.
You win it in May?
Yes.
You're confident about this?
Let's wait and see.
Wow.
Let's wait
You're
and
one
see.
of the few confident Arsenal fans I've ever come across.
Well, Arsenal is a great club. These are ordinary boys sitting together, playing together. They do extraordinary things. You know, when you compare them to other clubs, they buy the trophies with cash.
Oh, they do?
You know, you buy, like, there are some Chelsea fans here, some Manchester United fans. But Arsenal is, I mean, it's a case study we cannot have enough time to exhaust. These are ordinary young men, but when they play together, using a concept of teamwork, working together, they do extraordinary things. I think I love that club.
Fantastic. Wow, that's a nice way to love the club. Anyway, but thank you.
By the way, congratulations for your 20 years in Ghana. It's unbelievable what you have done in 20 years in the media space.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And you know, there are many people who relate with how far we've come, but for you as well, a lot of the stories we hear is how Henry Oro has been able to get to manage Zenith Bank Ghana Limited, lifted the fortunes of the company, and you're still growing. But let's start from what people do not know about you. Where exactly did Henry start, and how has it been for you before this success story we are celebrating?
Well, Henry started somewhere in Nigeria, obviously many years ago. And I started as a young man, born into a young family. We are not so very rich, and we have to create our own story as a family. And due to a lot of hard work, you know, some devotion to God, confidence and trust in God, and shared deed of hard work. You know, the best you can do is to plant. It's God that gives the harvest. Sure. You know, we have to work hard so many times through the early stage, through discipline, building some nice values that we'll probably talk about today. And through the early times in school, we went to the high school, still working on core values of discipline, hard work, and devotion to God, devotion to the family, confidence in yourself. Really, if you have to have confidence in your own ability, confidence in what you can do. You also have to have confidence in others around you, because in life there's so much you can do alone. You need to leverage on those that are around you. So growing up through the early stages, through the middle stages, and to where we are, it's been a story of God, you know, creating harvest for the hard work that one has done. You know, the race is not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong. It's God that gives favor to us. So we like to thank God especially for what you describe as a success story, but I believe that it's just the beginning of the story. You know, so for the benefit of our listeners, it's all about devotion and trust in God, confidence in what you can do and yourself, and confidence in those that are around you. And essentially, after all said and done, the essence of what we are doing is to build a happy family. So you have to, whatever you do, create your plans and your activities around building a happy family. And when the family is happy, I'm sure you go home, you have a family that can inspire you. I have a family that inspires me every day. I have a loving, beautiful wife that gives all the support. I have lovely children. So it's always a great thing to go home, share the experience of the day, get some inspiration from the home and all that. So that's been the story, you know, growing up to this level so far. And wherever you are, whatever the level you are playing in, whether some of us are still in the university, some of us are probably graduated and all that, it's the same principle. This principle of hard work, this principle of devotion to God, principle of having confidence in what you can do, and leveraging on what is available from the marketplace. And don't forget, whatever we become in life too is a function of the choices we make. We're a product of the choices we make growing up, and all that. And our character, which is the fundamental pivot of what we achieve in life, is also a function of the choices we make over time. You know, that's why the Bible says that we must, if there's anything that is pure, anything that is true, anything that is honest, anything that is honorable, anything that is commendable, is there anything that is excellent, is there anything that is praiseworthy? He said we should dwell on those things. Because if we dwell on the positive things, we have positive thoughts, we develop positive actions. Okay. Our positive actions over time become positive habits, which again generate the positive character that we need.
Just happen. You mentioned some principles that guided you up until this point. Apart from those you've mentioned already, what are the others that you diligently adhered to that helped you to stay on course?
Well, I think it's all about the values that we develop. And then what is our core value? What are the things that inspire us? What's our vision? What are the goals that we set? You know, so what are the things that give us energy? For me, what has inspired me and what keeps me going forward always is the need to excel. You know, I think there are so many people that are around us that want us to succeed, that wants me to succeed, and I can't let these people down. From family to friends to the institutions I work with. So there's a need for excellence, and that need for excellence is what has driven us and driven me, you know, every day, every year, every time. And that is what has, that is part of the success story. Andre Grove, in his books, wrote that only the paranoid survive. A paranoid man is a man who doesn't want to fail. And because he doesn't want to fail, he will avoid those things that will cause failure. So over time, I've had to work on a very positive value. I've had to work on a vision statement that is consistent with my values. And of course, hard work and you need to pursue excellence have been part of that process all through.
Great. When you speak to a lot of young people, and I read a report by Forbes that indicated that about 19 out of 20 young Africans don't know where they want to be in the next 5 years. It was a troubling report, but for you, did you have that plan? And for the audience here who probably may not have it in mind where they want to be in the next 5 years, what are some of the things that you would recommend they adhere to chart a path, clear path with a clear end point and vision in mind the next 5 years?
Well, to really succeed, you need to have, you need to begin with the end in mind. So as a young man or a young woman that is probably just going to leave school in the next few months, what do you want to achieve at the end of your life? I think that's the first question you have to set for yourself. And for you, at this point in time, what you need to do is to have the right relationships. You know, you need to have people who you can refer to as mentors. These are people, their life challenge you. These are people who are already successful in their chosen career. These are people that are probably around you. You need to identify them to give you mentorship and also follow the path that they have followed in terms of discipline. You know, the things that make us succeed are not rocket science. They are the basic values that we are talking about today. Values of hard work, values of discipline, values of delayed gratification. You don't want to expect that you must reap all the benefits today. You have to invest before you start reaping. Those principles are always there. Then you must work hard. You must pray hard. You must try and give back. You must sow something into people. You must be interested in people. That is what creates social capital. Those attributes, those habits of giving out, hard work, those are the things that will come back to you sooner or later as benefit. It is said that virtue is its own reward. Once you do something that is good, once you bless somebody, once you do somebody a favor, once you go out of your way to do something nice to somebody, God, divinity, has its own way of blessing you in return. Fantastic. That is to say, virtue is its own reward. So at this early part of your life, it will be a good thing if you imbibe those values, virtues, hard work, and dedication to your chosen cause. Once you do that, it's natural that in time you begin to reap more of the rewards.
Fantastic point. So virtue has its own reward, and that's one of the things you should keep in mind. As I said to you earlier on, I'm going to be coming to you a lot more for your questions for our captain for today. It's one of the few times we will have him sit in front of you. The next time will be at an interview session, and you want to impress him. So I'll have you ask your questions now. Raise your hand, mention your name. A microphone will be given to you, and you ask your question. So I see one hand there, and then another, and then another. Okay, so.
Okay. Good evening, sir. My question is, growing up, how has extracurricular activities enhanced your development as a young man? Thank you.
Extracurricular activities, like watching us now, you mean? Anyway, great. Okay, I saw a hand. Okay, yes.
My name is Helena. My name is Helena from Central University.
Okay, don't worry.
From your story, I understood that you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. So I just want to know that when would you say was your breakthrough in life? For a time in your life, what are you qualified as a breakthrough for you sitting here with a success story?
Thank you.
Okay, that moment of breakthrough. The third question, I saw a hand there. Okay.
My name is Philip Annan, a student of Central University. My question is, how do you form the right relationships with people? I mean, what do you consider when you're choosing a friend or someone to confide in? Yeah.
Okay. How do you form the right relationships? Very important. Your inner circle, the kind of people. Okay, we'll take the first four, and then we'll go on to the next. Yes.
Okay, I'm Daniel now. According to his profile, you could see that even when he was in business, he was still schooling, furthering his education. I know there will definitely be challenges. How were you able to overcome the challenges between you still schooling and then working?
Okay. The challenges, schooling and working. So these are the four extracurricular activities and that moment of your breakthrough. And then how do you form the right relationships to impact on you positively, because you talked about the people around you and how they impact on your success. And then the final one was about the schooling and working, combining, getting the right combination to ensure that one doesn't lead to the disadvantage of the other.
All right, thank you. Extracurricular activity. Is there any activity that is really extra? You know, all activity, I believe, are all very important in building up character, building up the individual that we are. Yes, to be a complete human being, you don't have to be just a good scholar. You must be good in various forms. You must be an all-rounder if you really want to make it up and really, excel in life. Extracurricular activities have been quite helpful, no doubt. I've always loved football. Even as a growing young man, I've played football. I played football actively growing up and all that.
Oh, wow.
And what does football teach you? Football teaches you discipline. It teaches you teamwork. It teaches you giving. It teaches you together everyone achieves more. And these are lessons, you can never probably learn them as much as you do once you engage in active sports. It teaches you endurance, and these are things you also need in your career. There are times in your career, even in school, or when you start working, having your professional career, there are times you are stretched. There are times you feel like giving up. Those times are going to come, very tough times. But the lessons and the discipline that comes from sports, say, which is extracurricular, gives you that headway to stand those trying times that you will have to confront as you grow up in your career. So extracurricular activities have been quite helpful in forming the character that I have now over time. It's been very helpful. Now, what's the moment of breakthrough? There's been so many breakthroughs, in my time, once you gain admission to university, it's a major breakthrough. Because it is not like you have today. There are so many universities around, private schools. Some of you don't have to write exams. I bet you in my time, after I don't know in your time what it was like.
There were not many private universities
at that time,
but there were some. At least Central University.
So in my time, you have to really write competitive exams, and I tell you, less than 5% will have to be chosen. So once you pass such a major exam to go to the university,
was a breakthrough in itself.
Was a major breakthrough, because it's a moment in time that can make or derail your academic career. And a lot of people who could not go to school, go to university at the time we did, are probably not as privileged or as fortunate as some of us have been. That is not to say you have to have a degree to be successful in life. But once you have chosen that path, it was a major breakthrough to go through the university. Another major breakthrough was when Zenith Bank itself decided to hire me. And that was a couple of years ago, close to over 50 years ago. For me, it was a major breakthrough because it provided an environment for me to be working for an institution that is professionally driven, an institution that rewards excellence, an institution that will see you as who you are, irrespective of where you come from. And the story has been such a beautiful one in the last 15, 16 years working with Zenith Bank. For me, there are so many opportunities or so many instances of major breakthroughs. But I would like to limit it to that time we got admission to the university, which was key, and that time when Zenith Bank given the opportunity to join them to contribute to this story. And of course, looking back 15, 16 years, you agree with me, it's been a wonderful story. I feel extremely privileged to be playing the role I'm playing today and contributing to the bank and contributing to the society in Ghana, contributing to the growth of Ghana as it were right now. Given the roles, as the CEO of Zenith, we have to be involved in, contribute to governance, government, contribute to the private sector, and it's been a great challenge and a great privilege to be playing in this role, and I consider it as a major breakthrough 15 years ago, thereabout, when I started working with Zenith. Now, what is the right The question is, what the right
relationships? How to form the right relationships?
How to form the right relationship with the people? Well, that's a very tricky question because we have different characters, different personality traits. We are different as we are many in the world, and there's no relationship that is negative. There's no relationship that is wrong. It's all about what we create from every relationship. So, how to create a relationship is the approach we have to every relationship. We must approach every relationship with a positive attitude. We must approach every relationship with the altruistic behavior. You know, the altruism is that tendency to support or help somebody, to give an advantage to somebody, even I give an advantage to somebody ahead of yourself. It's a very rare principle. And those who are able to work with that principle, they will notice that in time, they are much, much better for it. So if you encounter people who are negative, you don't treat them, you don't give it back to them in that same negative way. You try and find some positive in what they do. Mm-hmm. Do harm to no one, love everyone. Those are the words of Abraham Lincoln.
Absolutely.
And that made Abraham Lincoln one of the best American presidents. And he lived that principle. Everybody that came across Abraham Lincoln will have to benefit from Abraham Lincoln, whether they were good or bad. So growing up in our career is also a way of life we can also develop. We must see every relationship as a relationship we can potentially invest in to improve the life of the other person, to generally find a way to give to the other person. And once we do that open-heartedly, the principle of reciprocity comes in. So somebody who has been negative, who seems to be negative to you, when you show him a positive attitude, when you try to give to him, you try to tell him thank you, you try to tell him you've done great, you tell him, you know, everybody wants to appreciate somebody that is that pays compliment. So once we do a few of those things again and again, you find out what appears to be negative will turn out to be positive. So it's all about how we approach the relationship. There's no relationship that is bad, there's no relationship that is wrong, there's no relationship that is right. It's all about how we approach it.
Fantastic.
Like they said, you know, there's nothing as a bad weather. It's about wearing the right clothes.
True.
You know, you go to Canada with a T-shirt, it's going to be a bad weather. True. But if you wear the right clothes, then what's supposed to be a very bad weather becomes a beautiful weather.
Hopefully, you don't wear winter clothes when, you know, the sun is shining. Hopefully. The final one. That was about the...
I think there's another one here. What about schooling and working with the right combination? Well, maybe that is why we got this far. True. You know, you have to be dexterous. If you want to excel in life, you have to be able to do so many things at the same time. You have to be able to prioritize also, obviously. So it's schooling, developing ourselves, self-development is a continuous thing. You know, it never ends. You know, it was Mahatma Gandhi that said, yes, you must read like you are going to live forever. And you must work like you will die tomorrow. You know, so whatever you have achieved, see it as the basis, the starting point. So that has been the philosophy that also guided me. I made sure I improved myself and prioritized that without impinging on the requirement of my professional calling. We're not saying that if you go to school or we are going for further studies and you're at work, that you should abandon your work, you know, for the course of more studies. While you're working, you can do a lot of things together, but you must prioritize, give time to work. In the evening, you can invest a lot of time to reading, and at the end of the day, you find that you can achieve and apply both without missing out on your professional requirements.
Henry Oro is a Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Zenith Bank Ghana Limited, and he's our captain for today. I'm going to go for a quick breather. I'll be back shortly and would engage more of our audience from the Central University College with some more questions. Do stay. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Time with the Captains, and our captain for tonight, as I always say, we started this beautiful conversation, and the comments coming through is amazing. Henry Oro is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Zenith Bank Ghana Limited. Central University students are here, and they are a wonderful audience, and the audience also who are joining us online all across the world, because we are streaming live on Facebook on TV3 Ghana. That's the Facebook page. Just look out for TV3 Ghana. And you can also be part of the program. Many messages coming through. They're feeling the energy in the studio. A round of applause from you again. That's wonderful. Wow. That's beautiful. Okay, let me go on to a few of your messages from those who are watching us all across the world. This one here says, Stephen Osei-Tutu says, work like you're going to die tomorrow. That's one of the things he said, which you're repeating to us. This one here says, you must read like you're going to live forever. There's nothing like a bad weather. It's about wearing the right clothes. I'm thinking, Stephen, you're bringing back everything. Thank you. This one, Do Kamel says, a great leader by all standards. We're proud of you. Another one here says, what are the principles he derives from Arsene Wenger as a coach of Arsenal that keeps him glued to the team? Okay, this one also here says that, I like this program. I want to find out from him how he can advise young people with great ideas, but do not have the right path to take. Okay, I think you would answer that, and would get to this wonderful audience, and we'll get it to. So you want to answer that question, and then we'll get to the audience again.
Beautiful.
People, I mean, I've come across a lot of young people with beautiful ideas, fine-tuning it to look good and attract the kind of financing Zenith will give to those kind of people is a problem.
Well, that's a very, very relevant question. Excellence starts with an idea, and ideas come with dreams and aspiration. And to be a great leader, to succeed, you must be a man with a dream. And like I said before, the future belongs to those who dare to dream and have the courage to pursue their dreams. That is the future. And every great ruler, every great man, every great entrepreneur, every great student, anybody that has been very successful is somebody with a dream. It's somebody with a dream. So a great idea is a great dream. But the problem with ideas coming to fruition is that in the course of development of that idea, people give it up because there are frustrations from the environment, from within, from around us. Frustrations that have killed dreams. That is why I want to tell you that at this stage in life, you must know that you are the subject matter of your dream. You know, a sentence without a subject matter is not a complete sentence. So that dream cannot happen except you are part of it. And if you are the subject matter of that dream, you are also the magnet that will attract the resources for you to achieve your dreams. So whatever happens, you must see yourself, you must attract those resources. You must check your network, check your environment, check those you know, and find a solution that will help you achieve that dream. A lot of people get derailed over time. A lot of people fail to execute. Execution is part of getting a dream come through. It is said that a dream, a future that is not connected to your today is at best a mirage. And that connection between your today and your future is the execution. So that's the part where dreams have been killed premature. We must take that step as a student, write that project, make that call, write that letter, ask for that support. That is the first step you have to take. Execution, execution, and execution. Once we do that, you will find that there is no obstacle you cannot overcome. Call on the right people to support you. Call on friends. Call on a bank. You must be bold. You know, you must be bold. Call on Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank is full of people, RMs and staff that are willing to listen to you. Call on any of the banks in Ghana. They will listen to you if it is a problem of financing. But it might not just be the problem of financing. It might just be a problem of execution. It might be a problem of taking the first step. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with what? With the first step. So what you have to do is take that first step. And once you have taken that first step, like we say in Zenith, when you aspire to perspire, the universe will conspire in your favor. Wow. So once you have a great idea, take that first step. Aspire. You know, that dream is always very important. Only a few years ago, about 8 years ago, we got a black man as the president of the US, Barack Obama. It was a dream around 64, 65, right? Martin Luther King Jr.
Absolutely.
The famous speech, I have a dream that one day we will live in a nation that will live up to his creed, that all men are created equal. He said, I have a dream that one day my little daughters will live in a nation where they will not be considered by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That was a dream many years ago. Close to 20 years after, about 20 years after, did the dream come true? Yes, it came true. And right. The likes of the civil rights people, they took practical steps. Some went to jail. Luther King paid the ultimate sacrifice. So I think we should learn to execute our ideas, and once we take that first step, things will fall in place for us.
Fall in place. Let's get into the audience now. Yes.
Good evening. My name is Elvis, HRM student, level 400. I want to ask, as a foreigner coming to manage an organization in Ghana, what are some of the challenges you faced, some of our societal challenges, and how were you able to adjust? Thank you.
Great. All right, the first challenge is to learn the language. The first challenge is to speak Twi.
Absolutely. I guess you've learned enough.
And I'm still struggling with Twi.
You can, when I say etisen, you know what to say, right?
You know, you never know. So that is always the first challenge and all that. In terms of, I think between Nigeria and Ghana, by the way, yes, the CV tells you I'm a Nigerian. Not so much of my accent, is it?
Yeah.
Part of the accent gives me away.
Part of it. Mm-hmm. Right.
The culture, the way of life is so similar that it was very easy to integrate to the system here. You know, typically, if you walk on the street of Lagos, Ibadan, and you walk on the street of Kumasi and Accra, you probably do not find a difference. We are all the same in our ways, in our behavior, in our approach to things. And we share a lot of history, share a lot of common history and all that. So the similarity in our characteristic as a nation were very helpful, you know, getting some of us settled down very, very quickly. And I must say, this is a very lovely country, extremely hospitable people, you know, good infrastructure. We complain inside, but internally we complain, but when you look at what is available in other parts of the region, you find that we have done well. We have come a long way in Ghana in developing our infrastructure. We come a long way in the way we have evolved as a people, our hospitality, and these are great attributes we must be very proud of in Ghana.
Thank you. Yes. Where's the microphone? You have it. You ask and then he would ask. Yes.
My name is Alfred from Central University.
Your name is Alfred?
Yeah.
Wow. Hopefully you occupy this seat sometime.
Yeah, hopefully. My question is about balance, because I see a lot of bankers working the whole weekend, sometimes Saturdays. I want to know where you draw the balance and say that, okay, this time is for my family, because honestly, I don't think that time they take for leave is enough, because you work, and then you make sure that systems and everything are fine. So how does your family sacrifice to benefit from your sacrifice and work?
Thank you. Sure.
Right. A lot of people also, and indeed, TV3, I must extol this program for these young men.
Thank you.
To be learning from those who have passed through this path before them. It's a great privilege, and let's appreciate it with you. Let's
a round of applause for you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A lot of people struggle with things because they procrastinate. If you prioritize and do things at the right time, you find that you have enough time to do everything you want to do. But if you leave things and you want to do everything you are doing is urgent, you find that you never do anything correctly. You never have time for yourself. You never have time for your family. I think it's about prioritizing our work, prioritizing our time. Let's do first things first. Family is very key. Work is very key. And I believe we can allocate enough time between family and work without any of them losing out. And my advice always is the work that provides the money to take care of the family. Is the family, the reason you are working is for the family. So they are equally important. So when you prioritize your time, you are disciplined about time allocation, you should have enough time for the work and also have enough time for the family.
Right.
Hello. My name is Abdul Rashid Siba. And first of all, you made mention of confidence. You said it quite a number of times that we should be confident in what we are doing. And we live in a society in our country, Ghana, where most of the time, confidence is seen as arrogant, or maybe people see you to be too known, or you are pompous. Just because you are confident that you are trying to do something, people see you. And
so the question exactly.
Yeah. So the question is, how did you actually go through the confidence stage without actually losing friends, first of all, and then getting the people to actually rally behind you? Right. That's first of all. Secondly, what can we do in Ghana to reduce interest rates and to enhance borrowing? Because the interest rate is really killing a lot of businesses in Ghana, and people don't borrow as much because of the interest rate. So what can we do to reduce the interest rates in Ghana? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, great. Thank you. What's his name again? Rashid. There's a clear line between confidence and arrogance. They are not the same. And don't, in the guise of showing confidence, show arrogance. A confident man is a man who knows what he's up to, a man who is clear, who has clarity about his vision and goal, who is focused on his vision and goal, and who is concentrating on achieving that vision and goal. Clarity, focus, and concentration. That's a confident man. A confident man is who says yes, a man who says yes when he knows yes is the answer, and says no when he knows no is the answer. That's a confident man. And when you show confidence and show it with the right attitude, a lot of things is about the right attitude. A lot of us, because we are confident, because we are probably intelligent, we think we are better than everybody else. No, we all are strong in our various ways. And as a young man or woman, we must know that we must give respect to our neighbor. Even when we have superior knowledge or we have superior resources, we must give them some respect. You must show confidence, but show respect. And if you show confidence with respect, nobody will mistake it for arrogance, and you will not have the backlash that comes with showing excessive arrogance. Right. Interest rate. I think the government is doing a lot of that right now. And in the last couple of, this year precisely, we have had the MPC, the Monetary Policy Committee, reviewing the rates downward, back to back, until the last time when they decided to retain it where it is. Once government do that, interest rate will come down over time. Government is interested in investment. Government is interested in supporting the real sector. And that is why they're looking at cutting the taxes, they're looking at reducing the interest rates, and they've been doing a lot of that. And for that reason, industry today is able to borrow far much less than they have access to last year and all that. So the government have been doing a lot of that. And all we can do is to encourage them, because sometimes we tend to critique the government too much. Encourage them. And again, another thing we could do to support the government is to invest in infrastructure, invest in productive outlets. A lot of people will borrow, taking the benefit of a lower interest rate, and they invest in consumption spending. That does not help the economy. I think as entrepreneurs, we should take the advantage of a lower interest rate that the government is offering, that the banking sector is offering today, to invest in the productive economy. And that will be better on the long run for the economy.
Right. Yes. And then I'll take the last two.
My name is Rich.
A male and two females, because there's been a lot of the males asking. Yes.
My name is Rich. So, Captain Henry, this is a little out of the box, but I want to know. I want to hire someone. I want to be hired by someone. What advice do you have?
All right. Thank you. Just be brief. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Everybody will bear witness with me that the 20s is the most important age of every individual. And that is when you get to have a lot of ideas to do businesses and all that. But since, Mr. Oro, you are a business magnate and you've been through the system for a very long time, I want to know, how can you get to know that spotlight that ignites your passion for you to get to know what you really want to achieve in life? Because someone can do, let's say, accounting or whatever, but then you get to know that in the long run, that is not what the person really wants to do. So how can you get to know what you really want to do in life? Thank you very much.
Well, you're not alone. A lot of us, I can tell that's right. Great. Thank you. Let's answer that. Okay. In 2 minutes, and I'll take the last question. Okay. We have.
You want to be hired, or you want to hire someone?
I want to hire someone or be hired by someone.
What are the things you look at for?
Any advice you have?
Oh, the advice is for you. No, you have to decide what you want first.
Absolutely.
It's part of what we're talking about. Do you want to hire someone, or you want to be hired by someone?
No. All right.
You have to choose one. All right. The first thing is to make yourself hireable, and it comes with your personal grooming. Those of us who interview people every day, we can look at you and make a decision whether you fit or not. It starts with your personal grooming. What people see first is what you look, what you put on, your haircut, your dress. It may not be very expensive, but it should be on point. Are you following me? Those are the little personal grooming things you must. Then, of course, you need to develop yourself, develop your skill, develop your communication skill especially. It is always critical. It takes time for us to know whether you have the job knowledge once you have resumed. But for that interview process, you must show personality, show certain qualities in your personality,
right.
And you must show great qualities of communication. And you must also demonstrate the right attitude, even during interviews. It scores a lot for you. The right personality, the right communication skill, and the right attitude during your interviews. They are key factors that can help or cost you the interview.
Right.
Now, I didn't get what you're trying to achieve. 20, you're talking about?
I think finding the right path and knowing exactly what ignites your passion.
Well, okay. I think that's a very relevant question, really, because if you choose a path that you don't have passion for, the chances are that you will struggle all the time. So it's for you to ask yourself, what is it that drives me? What is it that gives me maximum satisfaction? What is it that I rather pay to do than be paid to do? Only you will know. And if you are honest with yourself, some things give you far more satisfaction than others. And if you find that thing, then you say you are the hero. Are you following me? So it's for you to look inward and find the things that really give you deeper satisfaction. And once you find those things, you pursue them. Pursue them without, like I said, you are the resource, you are the magnet that will attract the resources for you to achieve your dream. So once you have found that part, it becomes your dream. Then you have to do everything you can to achieve that dream, because that's where your happiness is. And because your passion is there, you are going to be able to overcome all the obstacles that will probably come your way. But if you don't have the passion for that cause, what happens with the slightest disturbance? You give up. So for you to look inward and find that thing, that gives you the deepest satisfaction?
Satisfaction. Unfortunately, time is not on our side, but the conversation actually continues on our various social media pages. So we're going to take a final word from our captain for tonight. And just so you know, there are souvenirs from Zenith Bank for all of you here. So they deserve a round of applause. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Zoro, let's take our final words.
Well, thank you. I'll start by telling you a very short story, and it will help you very likely. He said one day a man caught a dove. You know, when the dove was in his hands, the dove said, "Please don't kill me. Let me tell you 3 things that will make you rich." "What are these?" said the man. "First," the dove continued, "you must keep what you have." Number 1. "What is the second thing?" continued the man. "You mustn't cry for what you can't have." He said, "Tell me the third thing." The man continued. He said, "Before I tell you the third thing, the dove, let me fly to that tree." And the man let the dove fly to the tree. And the dove said, "What was the first thing I told you?" "What was the first thing?" "You must keep what you have." So everything you want to achieve in life is about what you have. That is one of the lessons. You must keep what you have. 5 fishes, 5 loaves, and 2 fishes. The Lord asked them, "What do we have?" Isn't it? And you can imagine what they did with it. God asked Moses, "What do you have where?" "In your hands." And you can imagine what he did with it. You must keep what you have. Number 2, you mustn't cry for what you can't have. Isn't it? True. He said, because you didn't keep what you have lost something, the dove said. Right. Because right in my body, there's a piece of gold. And the man started crying. "What is the second thing I told you?" "You mustn't cry for what you can have." So as you grow up, anything that is outside your areas of influence, don't let that disturb you. Shake it off and move forward. And the man will not stop crying because he had lost the piece of gold. He can't catch the dove anymore. Okay. And he said, finally, when somebody speaks to you, you must stop and think, did you really think I had gold in my body? You know, so as you grow up in life, these are some little things, stories that can help you appreciate and evolve.
You know, we can never have enough of this. Zoro, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making time. Thank you. I'm sure we can do it better for him. Please, thank you. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience, trust me. And those of you also joined us all across the world on our various social media platforms online, notably Pakwesi Asare, colleague, thank you so much. And on behalf of the rest of the team, we're very grateful that you made time to watch us and also be with us all across the world. Thank you. My name is Alfredo Kanse. The news is up on News 360. Do have a good evening. Thank you. Thank you.